Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of GameXPresents, the podcast. This is episode 4, and here we are in the round table discussing some more tech and video game stuff and stuff. How you doing?
I am good. How are you, Akis?
I'm doing good. And we got Victorino still here.
What's up?
What's up?
Or should I say, sup, dog?
Okay, that was random.
If you read the internet meme, you understand.
Nobody read that.
But I should probably have a link
All right, so
linking to it.
speaking of random, last week we had all this WWDC going on and
Yeah.
E3 and all this talk about the iOS 7, iRadio, Xbox, PS4. Lots of stuff going on. One day at work, I'm checking out the news and I see this news article about AT&T who's going to be doing the same thing as Verizon as far as no more early upgrades. Now, I don't know if people remember, but last year or earlier this year, Verizon announced that they will no longer be doing early upgrades, which means that when you would sign a 2-year contract, you would do your 2-year contract, but they usually allow you to upgrade about 20 months into the 2 years instead of the full 4 months. But they decided that starting January 2014, they are no longer going to allow people to upgrade at 20 months. Everybody has to wait till the full 24 months. And this week AT&T announced that they are also going to be doing waiting the full 24 months thing, which I don't know. To me, seems a little bit silly.
It is.
It could be just me, but a lot of times I upgrade with the same service, not so much because I care about the cell phone number or anything, but it's because I want the new phone.
Yeah.
So as much as I may hate this company, getting the new phone through them would be easier. So I just do that. But I don't know. I think that if I have the option of, okay, I can just cancel my contract now because the full 24 months went by and go to somewhere else, I might do that more. I don't know.
Yeah, because especially let's say you would get that early upgrade, even though knowing that another company might have the phone you actually want, but since you're able to upgrade a couple months earlier, they'll persuade you to stay with that
Correct.
company instead of going to the other company and getting the phone that you actually want.
Correct, because you want it that badly.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I don't want to wait 4 more months.
I'll just get this phone from this company.
I'll just deal with everything I hate about this company now because I don't want to wait.
But now they're giving you the option to move to a different company. It seems like they don't need customers.
So I don't know. I fail to see how this is beneficial to them. But whatever.
You would think from 20 months to 24, I would think they would go to 22 months, maybe, just to try it out.
Yeah, 2 months earlier.
But if you're actually waiting 24 months, sorry, that's kind of taking a big step in the wrong direction, in my opinion.
Who knows? I just saw the news out there. I was like, oh, you sneaky bastards.
Yeah.
And
they do it during
WWDC
WWDC and
E3.
while everybody's not looking, they're like, oh, here we go.
Speaking of WWDC.
WWDC. Say it
Which,
fast.
for those that don't know, is Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference. This year they announced iOS 7. That was they announced a bunch of other things like a trash can looking Mac Pro. But iOS 7, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, kind of like I was discussing to you earlier, one of these days about how, it kind of looked a little bit Sailor Moony,
Sailor Moon?
very colorful, very pinkish, very light colors, like summer colors, spring colors,
Or girly.
and it kind of looks not manly. I mean, there's
Not
nothing wrong,
manly.
but I don't want a phone that looks too girly. That's fine for a sister if I had one.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of very pastel colors, very, like lavender, pinkish. Um, I don't know. And I've had people come out to me and ask me, like, do you think it looks girly?
Yeah.
Guys that are concerned because, they
They don't want
use
a girly
iPhones.
phone. Yeah.
So this friend of mine, he was like, do you think it's girly? I'm like, I don't know, but it's okay because men don't use iPhones anyway. And he did not like that answer. Personally, I hope that you will be able to change the color scheme.
Yeah.
And it does look like it's going to change based on your wallpaper, but I don't know.
Kind of like what's it called, a chameleon?
Something like that.
Like,
like if your wallpaper has a lot of green, it'll use more green. That would be nice, but we'll have to see. Some of the other things that Apple announced that I was very surprised with iRadio. Like after Google announced their all access music service, which is just like very much like Spotify, I was expecting Apple to do something that rivals this.
mm-hmm.
But no, the iRadio is actually, at least right now, it's basically a Pandora. You can use it for free with ads, or if you're an iTunes, what do they call it? The iTunes Match.
iTunes
Where
Match.
you pay, I think it's like $25 a year. You can listen to all the music you want, or without commercials. But it's not a service where you can just choose. Okay, I want to listen to these songs.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot see what songs are coming up.
Oh,
so
It's random.
I think you may only be able to skip so many times. I'm not sure on that one, to be honest. But
Is that even with the paid one?
correct.
Well, that's kind of bad.
So I don't know. I was really expecting something more like I said, more like Spotify or Google All Access. So that was just surprising. Other than that, they did announce like a new MacBook Air, but it looks the same. It's just nicer inside, I guess.
More battery life.
Still no more battery life. Still no Retina display on it.
I know that's kind of like surprising. Well, I guess. Are you really surprised? Like, because the other one is.
I mean, there are a few other laptops out there in that category that do have Retina displays. I look at the Chromebook Pepsi. I mean, nobody will pay for that thing, but it does have a very nice display. So I was surprised that they didn't release a Retina display.
Because what's the resolution of it? Like, so
It's still HD, but
because I know that I have an Air, and it's like I forgot what it was, something by 900,
yeah,
1600 by 900, I believe.
I'm not sure what the resolution is of this one.
Well, like I don't know if we mentioned this on iOS 7 about the whole command center, the command center, the one where you kind of like lift from the bottom instead.
Yeah.
Like some of the similarities between how they're catching up to Android, like giving people a little bit more control than having to just click on the individual settings app to change everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of people complaining about how basically all the new features on iOS 7 are really things they brought from other places. Mostly, a lot of it is actually from Windows Phone. Some of it is from WebOS, and some of it is from Android. It seems like a lot of the features that they brought this time on iOS 7 are features from Ice Cream Sandwich. But yeah, like for example, now they have real multitasking, and it works very much the same way that WebOS used to work. The command center, as you mentioned, doesn't look, but it works very much the same way that it does on Android.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good that iOS users are finally getting these things. It's about time. I was still expecting more, like I was waiting for widgets.
Did you get that? Did you watch the
No,
keynote?
I just watch clips here and there.
Because like in one of the clips they had what's his name the guy who was presenting, he's like, when they presented the Mac Pro, he said something to the effect of, "Oh, people say that Apple can't innovate anymore."
Oh yeah,
in my ass, and but they're copying Android for their iOS.
It's like, can't innovate my ass.
And
Yeah, well, you're kind of proving that you can't innovate because there's really nothing really new on iOS 7 other than some pretty girly
Colors.
icons.
Hey,
Maybe it's like the Game Gear where the whole thing was colors.
hey, maybe
That's for older gamers.
Oh yeah, I think the people who are listening to this podcast know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's just 3.
But I don't know. It didn't really bring anything really exciting. And the other thing, not only was I hoping for a Mac Mini, I mean not a Mac Mini, MacBook Air with Retina display. What I really wanted to hear about was a iPad Mini with Retina display.
Oh yeah, they didn't mention anything about the Mini.
Nothing about that either. So maybe later this year. I'm still expecting iPad Mini with Retina display sometime this year.
Like I would think like in September.
Third quarter maybe.
September, yeah. Back to school season. I know that's when usually they have the MacBook Pros. I'm pretty sure they're gonna upgrade because it's to what Haswell or some whatever.
I don't know. It's been 6 months, hasn't it?
Hey, I'm surprised. I think it's been more than 6 months. Well, when was it? No, I think it was like in February they did the reboot.
That's how long the iPad 3 lasted, about 6 months before it got replaced.
But I think that whole thing was kind of just to upgrade to the little like what's it called?
The Lightning port.
Yeah, so maybe they just like rebooted it back to the year. Yes, they just had the little messed up. Go Apple. Like, I'm getting.
All right. Before we get into the more meaty subjects here, I did want to make an announcement that the MMORPG video game Rift, RIFT, is now a free-to-play game. So Rift is one of those MMOs that I actually tried because I was getting tired of World of Warcraft and I was told this might be a good option. So I tried it out for a while. The gameplay was very similar to World of Warcraft. The characters look nicer in my opinion, but I don't know, it didn't stick with me. So I eventually canceled my subscription. But yeah, I might pick it up again now that it's free to play.
I think all MMOs should be free to play.
I agree.
I don't know why they do a subscription thing. They can make money other ways. Like
I think it's been more than proven that a lot of people are willing to pay for certain services in the game.
Yeah.
I think they some of the games out there spend way too much money trying to limit people from using real money to get certain things. Like in World of Warcraft, they could probably make a lot of money just selling gold.
Mm-hmm.
Just buy the gold yourselves, sell it yourselves, and that way you don't have to worry about all these Chinese gold farmers doing it. So yeah, if you're looking for a decent MMO that's free to play, I would definitely give Rift a chance because I was surprised with it when I played. I just
didn't get too much into it.
Correct. Well, the people that I started playing with quit like after a week. So then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this by myself.
So there were new people, or they carried over from your World of Warcraft?
They were from my World of Warcraft, and then they started playing that one. But then they decided, oh, let's go play like KOTOR, the Knights of the Old Republic one. So then I was like, I'm not gonna try every single game that these people try. And really, after what was it, like 4 years of playing Final Fantasy 11, and about 5 years of playing World of Warcraft. I'm like, part of me wants to find another MMO. Another part of me is like, I just don't have the time for it anymore. So, although I was told that World of Tanks might actually be a good one. That's also another free to play.
World of Tanks.
World of Tanks. I am not totally sure what that one's about, but I heard that it's very good, and it's one of those that you just kind of play for a few minutes at a time. So I might have to give that one a try.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. All right, now E3.
Yeah, the main thing we're talking about. Yeah,
More.
So it finally
Presents.
happened. E3.
Kind of no more.
We kind of know a little bit more about. I don't know. What do we even want to start with? Like,
Okay, who stole the show?
Who thought? Yeah.
in my opinion, in my opinion and the opinion of most people, would definitely say that Sony stole the show.
Yeah, Sony. They really brought it. They were like stabbing Microsoft with all their
It's
points.
like Microsoft was down and they just kicked it.
Buried.
You know what?
Good.
They almost shot Microsoft where you just don't shoot a man. You don't do that.
Microsoft was down and you shoot them. So to add insult to injury.
So basically, we all know about all the Microsoft restrictions that they've been putting on games, saying that you can only trade it with a friend that has been your friend for over 30 days, and you can only trade it once, and the system has to check to make sure that it is online every day, and that if you're not online, you can only play for so long, blah blah blah. So many restrictions, they're making it extremely difficult. We are knowledgeable. You're not super knowledgeable people, but for the most part, we tend to be pretty knowledgeable about what we're talking about, and we can't even freaking figure out what the hell Microsoft is trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know why they called it the Xbox One. They should have called it the Xbox restrictions.
And then Sony comes out and they're like, hey, it's been working fine the way it is. Let's leave it alone.
Yeah.
Basically. And with just that, they steal the show. They didn't change anything. They're like, okay, let's just leave it the way it is. And gamers are like, cool, I like it the way it is.
Yeah, like who knew that keeping things the same would be like the.
Who would have guessed that if it's not broke, don't fix it?
Yeah. Not broke.
That's just. I mean, do you understand kind of what Microsoft is trying to do? Like, I can kind of understand it. I just don't think it's especially at this point. I don't think it's necessarily the best way.
They're too ahead of their time.
What do you think?
I can understand some of the things that they're doing. I can understand the whole, the whole putting some restrictions on the games, the way that it has been done with Steam.
Yeah.
We keep coming back to Steam.
Yeah,
because
that's the model. That's the best model there is for that kind of.
But again, with Steam, you're getting all these deals, and when you're paying so little for a game, you just don't care so much if you're not able to sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
There. A lot of times you can buy a $50 game on Steam for like $20 or less sometimes. So that's a huge rebate. And again, when you get it for that much less, you're like, okay, I can deal with this. But the good thing about PC gaming that Microsoft doesn't seem to be thinking about is the fact that if I really want a game and I don't want to wait for Steam to have it sale, I can always just go to a store and buy it. I don't have to buy it through Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my option. Microsoft doesn't want to give me that option. I'll be able to go to a store and buy a Xbox One game, but I'm still gonna have to register it to
through their Xbox service.
So that part sucks. So if Microsoft is is planning to do some kind of,
Mega sales.
if they're planning to do some sales, which with this model that they're trying to do, they better be planning to have some sales. But I could also see it if they were trying to do some kind of subscription service where you can pay X a month and play all the games you want. And I can also see with some of the sharing options that they have, even though we still don't totally understand how they're going to work, where you can have like 10 friends or 10 family members, as they call it, also play the games. I can, again, understand some of the restrictions that they're putting on there. But there's some other restrictions that I just don't see necessary.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you can only play so long if you are offline.
Yeah, that's like kind of like if it's a game that doesn't require like if you're playing like a Star Trek where it's randomly creating new worlds, I can understand you needing internet connection. But if it's a game that's already closed, like it's linear and everything is in the game, why do you need to have internet connection?
And this whole looking for internet every day, to me, that's just ridiculous.
Should be at least once a month, at least.
At least, like Spotify again. Spotify, you can download songs to your device, and if the device can't connect to the internet in a month, then it'll delete your songs. I'm okay with that. That makes sense. Because obviously, with Spotify, you're paying a monthly fee, so you kind of have to do that.
But what do you think? Like, because Sony announced that they're not gonna, you don't have to check the internet, for connectivity. Do you think now that Microsoft saw that they'll give way to some of the restrictions, especially the internet connection? Because I'm pretty sure they can change that. That's not something that is hard.
Yeah, but the way Microsoft has been harshly defending their point, I just don't see it happening. Like this week, Don Matrick, who is the Xbox chief over at Microsoft, he actually told people, he says, we have a system for those who don't have internet. It's called the Xbox 360. I'm like,
what an arrogant fuck.
No.
This is extremely cocky to me, which I just find it weird because I remember with the PlayStation 3 when it was coming out, Sony was being very cocky.
Yeah.
It was a very expensive system, and they basically were saying people are gonna buy it because it's that good. And at the beginning of the Sony PlayStation 3 life, it had a very difficult time. People were not buying it, or a lot of people were buying it as a Blu-ray player, but then not using the games. So the games were not selling at all, and it took them a few years before they got back on track. So I definitely think that Sony learned a lesson there. That's why right now they're like, okay, finally got things straight. Let's not mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Microsoft now is becoming the cocky one, the one that's like, you do weird thing. They were also saying how, this all has to be done now because we're moving to a digital age, and they just kept saying digital. And I'm like, okay, dude, we've had digital for a while, okay?
And
it's not something new. And you can definitely do all these digital things without setting all these other restrictions on me.
Yeah.
So, again, while I can understand to a point some of the things that they're doing, the way that they're doing it, I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, like for the Xbox, the only thing like that quote he said about, well, if you don't have internet, you can buy the Xbox 360. Now to him, I would respond like, or you're gonna release every game that comes out for the Xbox One also for the 360. Of course, maybe in less graphics, capabilities, but it's not gonna happen. So
Correct.
so it's not a good substitute. The best substitute is the PlayStation 4.
And that's what a lot of people were saying after they read that quote. They're like, no, it's actually called the PlayStation 4. It's
Yeah.
not called it.
That's the real substitute for your Xbox.
So
how about the price?
Price.
Because I know, okay, because people mention like, oh, the Xbox is more expensive because it has the Kinect. Well, I'm like, I don't really want the Kinect. You know, why do I need it?
That should be optional, just the way it is now.
Yeah, like
there's not a single Kinect game that I want out there, and that's just me being honest. I've thought of getting a Kinect, but then I couldn't find any games that I want to play with it. So why would I want the Kinect with my Xbox One? Don't get me wrong; it's a very impressive piece of technology. It's pretty cool what it can do, but it's not what I want. So, especially with this Kinect that doesn't turn off ever.
And it's hearing your voice,
So
your
it's
conversation.
always looking at you. It's always hearing you.
It's like hell.
And you brought up a good point the other day where, maybe Microsoft is not listening in on you. Maybe Microsoft is not spying on you. But if this system is always connected to the internet and it has a camera that's always on and it has a microphone that's always on, what's to keep it from getting hacked?
Yeah, this and you know how the government is. Like they can ask for your was it that they can ask for your email address or something, or your email stuff. Well,
that's just what has come out lately on the news. I'm sure they can do much more.
I know, but now imagine with the Microsoft, like maybe they want to spy on you because they think you're.
I mean, if they're forcing Google to give you email information or whatever, was to keep them from forcing Microsoft to give you access to
your at least to what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like having an instant camera on every household that has one of these. It's not like it is having an instant camera.
But like the thing, do you have to use it? Like,
apparently,
you have to use it to navigate your menus. I mean, I hate that. Like,
the street.
I don't want to move. If I wanted to move, I'll do exercise outside.
I wouldn't be playing video games, guys.
Video games is for me to sit back in the couch, sit my fat ass down, and play a game. I don't want to be standing up, waving my hands. There's too much work. So yeah, the PlayStation really stole the show.
Yeah, it is $100 cheaper. It is technically more powerful than the Xbox One.
But the cloud.
It's not gonna have all these restrictions on games. They did still say that publishers could control some of it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So that kind of goes up to the publishers. But at least they're not.
But how would they control? Like just having you register to their services or whatever.
I don't know.
Can't.
Like.
Every time on PS4 or Xbox.
Because does EA still do that where you have to you have to have an Origins account or whatever?
No, you have to type the code for the online pass.
Oh, but that's just to play online. So if you don't play online,
people like to play online. Well,
but
on the sports games.
It's not as bad as the Microsoft one though.
All right. So
at least you can still.
Well, how about Nintendo though?
Nintendo.
Kind of, I like how you mentioned that. What was your theory on it?
Well, we know that this year was really the first year since forever that Nintendo decided they're not going to have a press conference. So a lot of people, including myself, were very concerned about why is Nintendo not having a press conference. So this week I was kind of thinking about it after watching some of the video from their E3 show that they, the little E3 booth or whatever, the E3 area, and then I started thinking, Nintendo for a long time already has been telling us that they are not competing with Microsoft and Sony. They gave up on that idea of competing with those two. Now, since it is video games, we still always combine all of them
Yeah.
in our discussions. So I think that this year they decided to make it even more obvious and just not have a press conference, because really, if they had a press conference, it was going to be all about the Sony press conference, the Microsoft press conference, and the Nintendo one. So it kind of keeps grouping them with those other two, and really, if you want to not be grouped together with those two, then you cannot be doing the same thing that those two are doing.
Be different.
So they certainly went to E3. They had their little area. They had some interesting looking games. I'm very excited for some of those, like the new Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, or Freeze.
Tropical Freeze.
The Mario Kart 8 looks amazing.
And that new Super Mario Brothers.
The new Super Mario 3D World.
3D.
That looks pretty fun.
You know, it all looks good, but the main problem, everything's coming out in 2014.
It's either late this year or early next year.
And we were
I'm
just
like, what about now? I've been waiting since December last year.
and there was one director's what do they call them? Director's presentation of a game when there was a director presenting the game. Those little clips, they were doing one with I think it was like Nintendo Wii Party or something like that, and they're like, oh, this game is going to be released in the summer, but we want a little bit more time so to work on it, so it'll be released like later this year. So like, why did you even say that? Like, you should have said.
Don't tell me I was almost gonna get it sooner.
And how we were discussing in the last podcast, so the listeners to this one can listen to the old ones, is that where are the games? Like, we love Nintendo, we want them to do better, but we also want games. Where are the games?
Well, I am personally excited with some of these games that are coming out. But yeah, they're definitely coming out way later. Like,
but those are just Nintendo ones, right?
Correct.
Maybe there's like other like Ubisoft or.
But let's face it, the reason I have a Wii U is for Nintendo games.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much any other game.
Just get
I don't think, maybe Bayonetta 2 if.
Oh yeah.
But even Bayonetta 2, I would be surprised if it doesn't later come out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll come out like way later, maybe like 6 months later.
But what do you think about her makeover?
Huh? Oh, I didn't even see any video from Bayonetta 2.
Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, we just did.
I just know that it's coming out for the Wii U.
You checked it out?
She got made over.
Yeah, it's a little makeover with the hair and the suit. And
She's no longer naked underneath, or what?
I think she had.
And not because in the old game it was all hair or something like that, right? Now she has she has like a suit now with short hair and armpit hair. I think it's coming out of her armpit, but it still looks good. She still has the poses and everything.
She's French. Anyway.
French.
Yeah, it's Bayonetta. Sounds French. That's not French.
We're assholes.
Well, yeah, because any other game,
it comes down to the fact that we bought these systems last year, and there's really no good games. I'm already sick and tired of playing the same games.
Zombie U,
Super Mario
Brothers.
I got Call of Duty. I don't even play that shit. I'm not even sure why I bought it. It was one of the deals back the last Christmas where you would get 2 games, get 1 free. And since I was buying games for my nephews for Christmas,
you got that free.
And then I ended up getting some of those free.
Oh, that's a win-win.
Yeah, I still like Nintendo.
Yeah.
I want to see them succeed. I still think that they're definitely the best systems for people with kids.
Yeah.
But I just want some of those games, you know.
Yeah, especially
they got so many good franchises.
Yeah, especially when you don't want to expose your kids to more very violent.
Yeah.
Like I see these kids like 3-year-olds saying, "I play Call of Duty." I'm like, you shouldn't be playing Call of Duty. You should be playing Mario.
Oh yeah, true. Like I'm playing Injustice.
They're like, that's too kiddie for me.
I still want. Oh, I was gonna say I still want to. I still want a new Zelda game. I still
Zelda
want.
game.
Yeah, but
But they did.
but I heard a
Wind
rumor.
Waker.
No, but I heard a rumor.
I don't want Wind Waker. I want a brand new Zelda game.
But
Bloodlust.
I heard a rumor, and in the new Super Mario Brothers, they're saying that Link had a new outfit, and that did not include Skyward Swords. So that might be a new Zelda design.
Super Mario Brothers or Brawl?
In Brawl?
Super Smash.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
In
Smash
Smash-
Brothers.
So Zelda's gonna have a new outfit.
No.
Link is gonna have a new
Yeah.
outfit.
Link. And Zelda
How do
too.
you feel about the Wii Fit girl on the Super Smash Brothers?
Hey, she looks like she has some good pair of tits. I don't know. I actually see I actually see a lot of comments like when on that video that a lot of people are excited for that. I never played Wii Fit because I don't. If I want to do exercise, I'll go for a walk. But
I wouldn't have a clue who that girl is.
it was just like a pale woman.
Yeah.
So she's fit. So and people are excited. So I guess Wii Fit fans are happy.
Oh, but I want that game to be good with a lot of characters.
Yeah, I want them to have a bunch of characters.
Super Smash Brothers.
I don't think
And
I
for
don't
the
think
3D.
Snake is gonna be in the
Or
more.
Sonic.
At least Mega Man is in there.
No,
That's cool.
one news from E3 that got me excited and got me crushed at the same time is one of my favorite fighting games.
Oh, yeah. We were discussing this in a previous video how we were predicting, like, we were talking about how we wanted Nintendo to do good, so we wanted them to remake games, and one of the games was Killer Instinct. And we wanted it for the Wii, just because.
Yeah, correct. We've known that what Microsoft bought Rare. Or
Yeah.
made them one of their main. So I didn't know who ended up with what rights to what.
I know, that's kind of weird, huh?
I think Banjo-Kazooie is still part of Nintendo.
No, because they made
Oh,
an
yeah.
Xbox version.
Yeah.
Rare, but Donkey Kong is rare, right?
No, Donkey Kong has always been Nintendo.
Yeah, but Rare did. I think
Oh.
Nintendo allowed Rare to develop the
Correct.
Donkey Kong
Oh,
games.
okay.
Well, what about Diddy Kong? That wasn't
Oh, Donkey Kong Holder.
It's still under Nintendo, I think.
Yeah, and it's still
probably
Kong.
just because of the Kong name. I don't know. Well, King Kong would have
There
been Nintendo.
there was a custody battle of Diddy Kong. But yeah, so
So yeah, apparently Rare would be the one with the rights to Killer Instinct.
but I don't even think it's
No, it
Rare.
no, it's
I don't
not
even
Rare.
think Rare is making this
No,
one.
they are. I saw the Rare logo.
But somebody else was maybe their logo's there, but somebody else was gonna help develop it.
Maybe.
Maybe it was a co-development.
But I don't know. I'm sure, being the way I am, I'll probably end up with a S+1 at some point. At some point, I probably don't think I'll be buying one right
At
away.
launch. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
No, not until they fit some of the of the crap.
So,
So eventually, I'll probably play it. It looks. I like the fact that it looks very much like the original.
yeah,
Not looks wise.
Yeah,
Style wise, I mean. Looks wise, obviously, it looks much better. So,
but yeah.
that's a thing that made me sad. I kind of wanted it on my Wii U.
And it's just funny that
Because I need fighting games on my Wii U. Where's that
Oh, yeah.
Wii U Dead or Alive? Where's my Wii U?
you know, like
Yeah.
Smash Brothers.
I'm
yeah.
I just have to wait for the PS4.
Yeah.
I think did I read somewhere that the PS4 was also going to be backwards compatible? I could be wrong.
I heard that. I heard a lot of people say that, but I didn't hear that part in the press conference.
Oh.
I think people just like made that up. But
Probably.
hopefully, at least PlayStation 3, I
Yeah.
would say, because it's Blu-ray disc. So
Correct. You will hope so.
I mean, I can understand maybe not PlayStation 2, but even with that, you would think you can still play at least PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games, but as long as it plays PlayStation 3.
I can play most Wii games on my Wii U, just saying.
Yeah, so at least PlayStation 3. Give us that. Come on, Sony. I know you listen to this.
Yeah, I'm sure they
I'm sure they are. But you heard about that PlayStation Plus that now gonna be you're gonna be charged now?
Oh yeah, so
Correct.
now they're gonna start charging, but they do like, I mean, it's something
Say
Xbox
like
is doing.
$5 a month or something.
Yeah, $5. So it's still like
Or
$10 cheaper than Xbox Live. So, no, Gold. I mean, so I mean, Xbox is doing it, so it's not like, I don't know.
Well, this brings us back to my issue with Verizon
Yeah, that's true.
of just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean you have to.
But they
But
do,
at the same time, in this case,
No, but it's
I can understand, you know,
and they do give you free
making-
games.
making a network and an online community is not cheap. And Microsoft fanboys have always been saying how great Xbox Live is, you know, and you never really hear, I never really hear PlayStation people talking so much about the PlayStation network. So hey, if they're gonna make it better,
But I did hear that if you do have Xbox, PlayStation the Plus, you get to earn free games.
yeah,
So-
I heard that the same thing with the Xbox Live though. They're gonna give you two free games a month, but you know, I'm like
Games you already have. Well,
no,
games, I know.
I'm assuming maybe I'm just being pessimistic, but I'm assuming these are gonna be like very shitty games that
Well,
that
because
no
I know.
one even wants.
I mean, because I know it's
Mario
like
goes wild,
they're giving the first in July. I think they're gonna start off with Assassin's Creed and Halo 3. So those are games that usually people already have.
Yeah,
But
correct.
maybe if you haven't had Xbox Gold, then maybe that's
Correct, yeah,
something good to
I-
do.
Like the other couple months ago when I bought Portal 2 on Steam. It's kind of an older game now, but I mean not that old, but older. I bought it for like $5 on Steam, and I was happy with it. You know, most people have already played it, but I hadn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Like us.
Which, by the way, great game.
Portal 2.
I loved it.
Yeah, I gotta try that.
Made me want to play Portal 1. I've never played Portal 1. But Portal 2 was by far the funniest game I have played.
And you beat the whole game.
Yeah.
Better than
Yeah, because I know you
Better than
when you play a game and you beat the game, that it has to be a good game. Because I know the other time you beat a game, it was I think it was made by the same people.
It's 1999.
What was it called? Half-Life.
No. Oh, well, I've beaten Half-Life in the past. But, you know, I played Uncharted 2 and 3.
Oh, you played those?
Yeah. I'm a big Uncharted fan. Basically,
Okay.
games that keep things interesting like that.
And Metal Gear with the suit.
Like the
with
shield
the,
suit.
I play God of War also. God of War on the PS3, the last one.
the third.
Yeah, that was a good game too.
Yeah.
What I really enjoyed about that one was just playing the brutality that I could use to kill things.
Yeah, it's a good brutality.
Those were fun. And I'm currently trying to finish Tomb Raider on the PC.
Well, have you got back to it?
I have not. I last podcast I promised that I would, but I haven't. But I will.
Eventually.
Once you
Eventually,
get
I
settled
will
in.
get back to it. Once it doesn't matter how much I'm into a game. If I stop playing it for a week, I completely lose
Yeah.
interest.
I can't.
And then going back, I am like, oh, I have to try and remember.
Yeah.
So then it keeps me from wanting to even play it.
I know it kind of happened to me with Zelda Wind Waker on the GameCube. I was playing it, then I kind of like stopped playing, but then Victorino started playing it. I'm like, I should probably beat him because he was already passing. So like, I'm not gonna let him beat it first in me. So I had motivation.
And I'm not this way with just games, by the way. If I'm
With anything.
watching a TV show and then I stop watching it for a bit, I completely forget about it. If I'm taking care of a kid and I stop watching him for a bit, I completely forget about it. No. Don't use me for babysitting, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, you have a Wii, you just let the kid play Wii and you'll know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do we? What else happened at E3 this year?
E3. Hmm.
Let's see the games.
Any aside from Nintendo, any games that you saw that you're like, oh, I gotta have this?
Not really.
Metal Gear.
But I know that there was like a stronger presence with the mobile, like the whole tablet gaming thing. But like,
True.
so what's your like? Is tablet gaming comfortable for you? Have you like I couldn't like because I was playing Sonic, and I kept getting pissed off at this level because it did not respond well to my greasy hands.
Yeah.
So I was kind of mad. So I don't
Well,
like.
you shouldn't be playing them when you're eating pizza.
It should work.
You know, playing games on a tablet or a cell phone has never been my thing.
Those are like
It just
yeah,
doesn't. Other than stupid little games like maybe
Angry
some
Birds.
Angry Birds or Candy Crush or whatever, uh, things like that I can do. You know, things that only take a few minutes.
Yeah, but not like a
But
full.
yeah, like a real game, like a full game with a story, and it has never happened. Not even the racing games. I don't like them.
Yeah,
It just doesn't work for me. And I'm not gonna say that they suck. It just really just doesn't work for me. Um, I'm kind of excited about some of the new consoles that are coming out though. Like I think this month the Ouya or whatever they call it.
That's the Android based one.
That's the Android based one. It's finally coming out. So you know, if I can play some of those games with a controller
Yeah.
on my TV, I could definitely see myself getting more into them, into some of them. Although who knows, because they are made thinking of people with tablets and cell phones. So I'm not sure if there's a single game out there that has a great storyline or anything like that. I forget the name of it, but there's another Ouya type console being made right now that should be out soon. Um, yeah, I wish I could remember the name because the controller actually looked really cool.
Um, what was that based? Is that like you stream games or?
No, I mean it's just like the Ouya where you just play Android games on the TV.
Was in like the Razor or something like that. But like I guess another thing from I was trying to think like anything that I mean the only thing that really stand out to me was the whole PlayStation 4 conference. And that's like something.
And then one commercial, how to share a game with
Oh
your
yeah,
friends.
man, how to share a game commercial.
Just give it to them, say thank you. That's it. And I think it's only this month that the Nvidia
Oh, the
Shield
Nvidia,
comes
yeah,
out.
the Shield.
Sierra Hotel.
I do
India,
believe it is this
Delta.
month.
Is that the one you were talking about?
No, but
So is that one?
I do kind of want to check into it because if I don't know if it has like an HDMI output. If it has like some kind of HDMI output, then
So you can connect. Yeah, I think it does. So you can connect to your TV.
so that could be possibly cool.
So that game is well, like it plays like regular PC games, or
No, it just has it's got the Tegra 4 processor, which has the technology to better sync between the NVIDIA video cards and the system, but it's done using like remote connect. Basically, you do a remote connection to your computer
oh, and play
through
games
the
on it.
network, but it is the CPU is made so that it can handle some of the information. How it all works, I don't know.
So you'll be playing PC games on that screen,
Correct.
but you have to have it connected to your PC, kind of thing.
Correct. You're gonna be on the network.
Well, isn't that like $700 or something like that?
No. I believe it was about 350. If I'm not.
Because there was one where maybe it was like at when they first announced it that the rumors were like it was gonna be like 600. I don't remember which exactly it was. It was one of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this one was around 350. The Nvidia Shield. I don't know. I think it looks interesting, but yeah, don't think I'll be getting that one. That's even at $350. That's a lot for a little handheld Android gaming system.
So
it's like just use your phone.
So like, can you remote access your PC from any like Wi-Fi? Like if I'm at your house, if I were to be in your house, would I be able to play from my PC?
You should be able to, but is it gonna work as good? I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It might be amazing.
I guess it's just something we're gonna have to wait and see.
Correct.
Maybe we should start trying to get review review units.
Yeah, we might have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah. Come on, we need more views so we can get review units. Kickstarter. We're gonna do a Kickstarter to get more viewers.
Well, we could start
We're gonna pay you guys with the Kickstarter money.
to better production value.
Yeah, it's increasing. I think we're doing better. So anything else on the agenda?
We're congratulating ourselves here.
Panners are in the back.
No, what other games look interesting? There was
the Link, like Legend of Zelda.
Well, there's a bunch of like 3DS games.
Like for example,
I mean, if you're a 3DS player, hey, you're getting a new Zelda game.
I really just don't care about portable gaming.
Okay.
And sadly, Nintendo seems to be doing more of those, and I'm like, I just don't care for that.
I guess like, imagine being a kid, then because you're driving a lot more. But now you're doing the driving, so you can't play while driving.
Yeah, we'll let you have someone else driving.
But no, honestly, even when I'm on like a long business trip, like on a long plane ride or whatever,
you can't play.
I can only play video games on the go for like 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
After 10 minutes, I'm like, screw this. I can't watch TV shows either. It annoys me after a while. I don't know why.
No.
However, I can, if I'm like in bed, I can put a TV show on my tablet, set it on the side, and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm on the go, like sitting on a car, being driven or whatever, I can't sit down and watch the same thing on the same tablet. It just annoys me. Who knows? I'm weird. We all know that.
Hey, everybody has their quirks.
But yeah, overall, a good E3.
Yeah.
Nothing extremely exciting, but
nothing game changing, but
nothing game changing.
I mean,
other than two brand new systems.
I mean, nothing game changing in terms of innovation, but hey, keeping everything the same seems to be game changing.
But better graphics though.
Well, the system's graphics, they do look kind of nice. How do you feel about the new Metal Gear preview?
I really liked it. It's open world, and seems like
there's some kind of illegal activity going on over there, but they see a horse going by
and it's
walking by itself, and everything's cool, whatever.
Maybe they have wild horses over there, but it seemed very. It reminded me of like the Rambo part. I think it was part 2 or part 3, where they're in Afghanistan.
No, part 3.
No, part 2.
No, part 2. There was in
Oh yeah, part 3. And it's just like open world, and he's trying to save his commander or whatever. I really like it. I think that's a game that. But notice how that came out on the Xbox conference, but then they mentioned it. This is they're talking about exclusive games, and now Metal Gear Solid 4 like kind of try to make it connect like if it was an exclusive for Xbox, and even though it's also for like the PS4.
So they failed.
So they're trying to get people to think that was just an exclusive for them without actually saying it.
But then the PS4 was also doing a lot of play on words, like exclusive content. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Not that many exclusives on the PS4 though. But I'm okay. I'm okay with that as long as there's games. I don't care if they're on other systems.
At least they're
Yeah.
good games, not crappy
Yeah, but especially if I can play offline.
Yeah.
offline that gives
Well,
something else.
of course, talking about maybe depending on the whole publisher thing, but whether if they want to restrict things on a PS4, but
Probably will.
I don't think so.
Or they're probably gonna like fuck this up.
Hopefully not.
No, I think the gamers have made it clear that they don't want that,
Yeah.
And they unite.
and I think the publishers are just gonna have to learn to respect it, or give the gamers something that's worth it. The way Steam is doing it.
Yeah.
Again, and it just works. Like the whole. I'm sorry to keep bringing up Steam, but
They're
Yeah.
good.
And they brought it on themselves to being compared to Steam, so it's a
Correct.
fair comparison.
like I said, if you want the freedom with Steam, you have it because you don't have to use Steam. But it is super easy at the same time. So a lot of times you're like, you know what, fuck it, I don't care. I'll just pay the full price and get it on Steam. But then I like it because it's an option.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft is taking away the option, and that's where I have issues. I'm a video game collector. I never trade my games, so technically I don't give a shit if I can't trade my games. But to not be allowed to do it,
At least
it's different. I probably won't do it, but don't tell me that I can't do it.
Yeah, like what if you would just want to let your nephews try a game?
Right.
You can't do that.
Well, if I want them to try the game, usually I buy it for them on Christmas. That way I have an excuse to buy them something.
I guess, or let me use the game.
All right.
So
yeah, I can't think of anything else exciting that happened this week. There's probably something real big, and
we forgot.
we completely forgot about
Hey,
it.
there's always next week.
We went to watch Man of Steel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Man
I
of
give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it was good, but
which in my list that just means it was entertaining. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I sat down to watch a good action movie, and I got a good action movie.
a lot of destruction, but
They completely destroyed the city, which to me makes Superman the biggest terrorist in Metropolis. But whatever.
he just led an alien. Oh, I guess no spoilers here. So
No spoilers.
So yeah, go watch it. Hopefully this doesn't come out a month from now, but go watch it.
No, even if it's still out there when you hear this,
Go watch
go
it.
watch it if you haven't.
It's good.
It won't be a waste.
Yeah, take your girlfriend.
Go watch it at a budget.
All right, so
Alright, so I
here
think Victorino left us.
he left.
He went to the restaurant.
All right, so from GameXPresents, we thank you for listening, and we hope you listen to all our other episodes, and from now into the future. And well, thanks for listening. And this is Ekis signing off.
This is stuff.
And
that would have been Victorino, but he's
gone.
gone.
All right. Well, thanks a lot.